The next speaker is a very, very special speaker, and she has had a heroic last year, and I believe she's the best mom in the world. She is my hero and the love of my life. Join me in welcoming Erika Kirk.
Is there anything more embarrassing right now than being a Trump-supporting Christian conservative? I feel like ever since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, it's just been one giant humiliation ritual. I mean, even before he was killed, I was just kind of looking around thinking they were kind of like these opie-dopey, kind of milquetoast people, especially the TP USA. I always thought it was a little bit of a, controlled opposition, and I've never been more sure that I was actually correct in my entire life. Because say what you will about Charlie Kirk, but he's definitely one of those people who became successful and then married a woman who basically tore down his entire legacy in a fraction of the time and effort that it took for him to build it. I mean, how long did it take for Charlie to actually build TP USA to where it was? I mean, like I said, I think he's kind of an opie-dopey dude, but he legitimately helped get President Trump elected. And I personally don't understand it because I'm not like the people in his organization, but for some reason it is very appealing to the kind of normie, conservative young people. But you look now, and his wife is like basically an obvious Israeli plant, a honeypot, and everybody kind of knows that a conservative Christian should be, especially if you're a woman, should be kind of prioritizing your children, especially when their father was shot in front of the children. And I feel like I've seen her now more than ever. I didn't even know who she was until Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I mean, as a non-PR expert, I can pretty much tell you that that's like one of the most retarded things I've ever seen in my entire life. Having her on, pretending to cry. I mean, does anybody buy this shtick? But either way, I mean, all the memes are just hilarious about her. I mean, one of them, which I definitely agree with, it basically showed a megachurch, the way a pastor enters a megachurch, and the way Erika Kirk is entering her husband's funeral. And I'm pretty sure that's where we're at now, Republican conservatives are basically in a megachurch. They're going to be siphoned off for everything they're worth and be given the promise that they're going to go to heaven and that they'll save the country. And the irony is that these people, these Republican conservatives, the TP USA types, if someone stepped forward and actually had the solution to saving the country, which if you're anywhere on the right wing, you know exactly what that solution is. Some may even call it the final solution to all the BS that we're going through right now. These Republican types would be the first in line to try and stop them. And if they actually, if the right wing actually won and we had our enemies on their knees, these Christian types would be the only ones out there screaming for mercy, throwing their body over them like Pocahontas to shield them from the justice that they have reaped from their own horrific actions that have killed millions. And so I'm actually kind of confused why anybody would take these people seriously. Like, is Erika Kirk really going to be trying to push JD Vance on us? I'm pretty sure JD has taken more than Peter Thiel's own husband from Peter Thiel. I mean, this guy, I can't think of anybody less independently minded than the guy who called Trump Uncle A. and then switched immediately when it became clear that he could actually win and he would be the vice president. I mean, who respects that kind of person? Who could believe that kind of person, frankly? And so the cycle kind of continues here. I mean, it is kind of beyond parody when you see Erika Kirk literally say Shabbat Shalom on an interview. It's like, really? It's like slapping your own supporters in the face, where you have one side of the conspiracy theory that thinks that Israel basically offed their goodest goy, and you go on stage and say Shabbat Shalom. Literally insane. And I'll come back to it one more time. I mean, why is she not with her kids? The country obviously does not need her right now. Never needed her, to be honest. And for that matter, why are any of these conservative commentator women in the public eye at all? And if you want to actually give them the TKO that they deserve, where are their husbands? Where are their children? And honestly, it's people like that that kind of prevent me from calling myself a Christian because, I wouldn't call myself one at all. And even if I wanted to, it's just embarrassing. I've tried to go to churches a couple times, and every time I go, it's like a humiliation ritual as soon as you step inside the door. You have all the colorful flags hung all around, and these are often the non-denominational types. The churches that have a full-blown concert, as if worshiping your God that was nailed to a cross is supposed to be some jovial event, and not submitting yourself before your Savior. I mean, that's always what I thought it was supposed to be. And that's something as an adult now I can actually respect. I'm not interested in the modern interpretation and the modern acceptance of a universal religion. Because a universal religion like that, I used to assume you had to submit yourself before it, not that it would submit itself before you. And so this makes it kind of easy when we're trying to identify the enemies of an actual right-wing nationalist movement. The enemy are the people who are accepting, the ones who are submitting themselves to be weak and passive. These people are the true civilizational traitors. And me being more of an admirer of my ancestors' religion and of their culture, I think I'm basically set to be pitted against not only the left wing, but also the centrists or the slightly right-wing conservative types. The ones whose apathy has turned them to stone. I mean, the funniest thing is these people want to conserve the past. But what would their own ancestors think of them? I think immediately when I saw Erika Kirk come out of the ether of Saint Olga of Kiev, who, when her husband was killed, she went on a genocidal crusade against her husband's murderers and destroyed the entire civilization of those who killed her husband. She became a saint. Where is that kind of energy now? Again, I'm not even a Christian, and I feel like I know their own religion better than they do. I cringe so hard that I break my teeth every time I hear somebody tell me that a Christian isn't supposed to be judging, or that cursing is a sin. It's like they're trying to win a gun battle with a fucking toothpick. And so it is a bit ironic that the kind of world that I want to create would actually be great for these kind of Christians, but they would be screaming and clawing my face the entire way I took them over to it. And they would condemn me, and they would hate me, and they would judge me harsher than any leftist who literally wants to genocide them. And I suppose that's the ultimate irony. I'm pretty sure if Jesus Christ himself came back and told them the truth of their situation, they would be the first to turn him in to be crucified and punished once again. The same goes for these Jordan Peterson types, these cowards. But yeah, I mean, if you're a conservative Republican in these day and ages, I mean, you're basically a joke. You're a laughingstock from all sides of the aisle, everywhere around the globe. They're laughing at you. We're laughing at you. One of your main leaders was almost assassinated. Your leader was almost assassinated. And then the guy who got him elected was assassinated. Not even a lawsuit. No outcry to hold the administration responsible. The only thing I saw were people defending themselves at these little candlelight vigils. The nothing happened memes, I mean, these embody the right wing, or I apologize, the Christian conservatives, these people who wish to conserve what 10 minutes ago was actually considered a left-wing talking point or the propaganda. One thing I do respect a little bit, I grew up in the 90s and I wasn't a fan of the Republicans back then, but at least they were against certain things, actually stood stances and organized. I remember the Mothers Against Drunk Driving and DARE and the movements against pornography and against video games like Doom. Those were all retarded, but at least they were fighting back. Now it's just a joke. I mean, if I had my perfect world, these people would be eradicated, and not literally, but I mean, they would be ideologically eradicated. They would be forced to pick a side and actually stand for something for once in their life. And that's kind of all I'm asking of these people. I mean, you have a book that tells you your morality. Unlike me, you haven't had to figure it out in the world and react to these satanic demons made manifest that we call leftists. These people that are created via propaganda and via university to destroy everything your ancestors created, including you. If they had the power to do so, if they had the Thanos power, they would snap you all out of existence exclusively. And your response to that is tolerance. I just can't respect it, I'm sorry. I don't think a single one of their ancestors could either. I suppose this is what mass delusion actually looks like in practice. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm not sure exactly what it would take to make these people actually choose a side. And I can almost guarantee that most of them would not choose my side. Because I'm unapologetically right-wing. And I'm unapologetically a defender of Christendom. And it's not because I believe in Christ. I wish I could. That religion, I know I'm jealous of people who truly do believe in it. I'm culturally a Christian. I don't want to see Christian civilization be destroyed by the people who lie about its characteristics and who wish to see it conserved the way it was a few years ago. I want to restore it. And if I was the actual leader, not only would I restore it, but I would also take back Constantinople. You know, this is kind of what we need to be doing, is spreading Western civilization all over the world. We shouldn't be receding. If we want to take care of people, take care of their civilizations, we can't just bring them here. Why aren't we taking care of them in their own countries? What a coincidence that these Christian, quote-unquote, NGOs are the ones holding signs saying, "Welcome to the migrants." Am I the only one who remembers this? These people are not our friends. They're the willing ignorant. They refuse to see what's right in front of their face. We're sitting here screaming at them to turn around while the horror movie villain's about to stab them. By the way, if you are a Republican and you're listening to this right now, you need to wake up. And I don't mean that in a rhetorical way, I mean that literally. You're asleep at the wheel. Republicans used to own this country. Most of the time when I was up, I mean, that was the norm, was Republicans in charge. And everybody wanted to rebel against them. And the entire male population of Gen Z is pretty much tired of that. And it's funny to watch them be radicalized because we were sold the lie that nobody needs religion, that nobody needs family, that everybody's exactly the same. And it's such an organic backlash. It's like a psychic backlash. It's like a near possession. We can hear our own ancestors, our own legacies screaming out as Erika Kirk walks on the stage, fireworks exploding, her children weeping at home watching it on television. I mean, this is all a joke. This is peak clown world. And I just hope, for all of our sake, that the millennial Christian conservatives and the boomers, that they aren't around when Gen Z takes over. Because this is going to be such a right-wing, hard shift. It's going to give everybody whiplash. And something I do want to talk about later is just the stare that these Gen Z kids have. It's almost like a Sydney Sweeney permanent look on their face as they watch their entire civilization and history be stripped from them. Your average Mayo Zoomer has like a 1,000-yard shell shock stare. And I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather be on the side of the people with that stare than against them. Because I guarantee if you're against them, it's going to be biblical. Because one side is led by a bunch of Epstein clients, and the other side has righteous fury guiding them. So if you're a fence sitter, gotta take that post out of your mouth.